Welcome back. I'm Jared Linder from the Diabetes Revolution, and we've reached our final installment of our deep dive into Chapter 2 of Dr. Lustage's book, Metabolic. Today we're talking about a crucial topic, blood glucose and insulin. And this might change everything you thought you knew about diabetes management. So let's start with a typical approach to high blood sugar. When someone is diagnosed with hyperglycemia, what's the first thing that happens? Usually it's a prescription for medications, oral hypoglycemics, or injectable insulin. The goal? Lower that blood glucose and lower the A1C. But here's where it gets a little bit interesting. While these medications can lead to reductions in complications like amputations and dialysis, they've been proven to do so, they also come with a host of side effects. We're talking dizziness, drowsiness, heartburn, gastrointestinal distress, and even seizures. In fact, glucose-lowering meds are responsible for about 100,000 ER visits in the U.S. every year. That's not a typo, 100,000. Now here's the real kicker. Dr. Lustige argues that blood glucose isn't even the real problem. It's just what we measure because it's easy to measure. He argues that the real culprit is insulin levels. Now here's why that matters. Insulin is both good for you and bad for you. It's good because it lowers your blood sugar, but it's bad because it can increase smooth muscle growth around your arteries and kidneys, which leads to narrowing and increased risk of heart attack and kidney failure. So every insulin molecule in your body does both. It's short-term gain for long-term pain. We need insulin to survive. But if we're insulin resistant, we're adding extra insulin. This lowers glucose in the short term, but contributes to chronic disease in the long term. So what's the takeaway? Glucose levels are a poor proxy for insulin levels. By focusing solely on lowering blood glucose, we might be missing the bigger picture. Now here's a startling fact. In the U.S., the total expenditure on diabetic drugs, monitors, and treatments reached $350 billion last year. That's 10% of overall healthcare expenditure. But are we really addressing the root cause? Dr. Lustage's approach suggests that we need to shift our focus. Instead of trying to lower blood glucose, we need to address insulin resistance and reduce insulin levels. This might be lifestyle changes, particularly in diet, rather than just relying on medications. So if you're intrigued by this approach and this information and you want to learn more about how you can take control of your metabolic health, I encourage you again to read this book, Metabolical. I also encourage you to visit thediabetesrevolution.com. We've got resources, tips, and a supportive community to help you on your journey to better health. Now, this concludes our series on Chapter 2 of Metabolical, but there's so much more to explore. If you found these videos helpful, we ask you to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we have more eye-opening content coming your way. Remember, your health is in your hands. Understanding the real drivers of metabolic health is the first step towards true wellness. I'm Jared Linder. Thank you for joining me on this journey to revolutionize our approach to health and diabetes management. I ask that you stay curious, stay healthy, and keep challenging the status quo.